Hi guys, this is Mike and this will be a shootout between 4 different Boss chorus pedals. I actually think these are all the chorus pedals that Boss has out on the market right now. I set them up here in front of me from the cheapest to the most expensive, and as you might know, these two are digital and these two are analog. Speaking of analog, I noticed something, well, let's say fishy going on with the bypass on some of these pedals, but I will make a separate video just focusing on chorus pedals and how they affect your bypass sound. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, so I set these pedals up the way I like them, the way I think that these settings represent the pedals the best. And yeah, I'll start with a mono setup and then I'll switch to a stereo setup, right? But for now, so this is the clean sound. And let's start with the super chorus. Has an EQ built in, which affects the chorus sound. Right, let's put the depth and the effect level all the way up. Okay, let's try out the chorus ensemble. As you might hear, it's a little bit of a weaker effect, even when I put all the controls up. Let's put them down a little bit. Okay, let's try the CE-2w. I actually really like the middle setting here. Depth all the way. Let's put it back at 3 o'clock. The right setting is kind of a vibrato setting, so it's very fast. Let's put the rate down. Let's go back to the middle setting. Okay, now the dimension chorus. Basically, these 4 switches are for strength of the effect and the rate of the effect. And it has a second sound option. But I actually like the first one more. You can also engage two settings at the same time. Okay guys, so let me switch to a stereo setup. Just a little spoiler alert though. Only one of these pedals is a true stereo pedal. The other ones have a kind of a fake stereo going on. So take your best headphones and really listen to what these pedals do to the stereo signal. And after that I will give you my opinion, and I actually can't wait to give you my opinion on these pedals. Okay, so now the stereo setup, enjoy. Okay guys, so as you might have heard, both the super chorus and the chorus ensemble have the same thing going on, which is they give you your effect level or your effect signal on one side and your dry signal on the other. And they even admit it in the manual of these pedals. But in my opinion, that's not what you would call real stereo, right? So the sound engines don't really produce the signal, the effect signal in stereo. The CE-2w, on the other hand, doesn't do the shitty fake stereo as these two, but I feel that it actually is the same effect signal on both sides, on left and right, and they like maybe phase reversed it a little bit, or they delayed it for a couple of milliseconds. And the reason why I'm thinking that is because it never reaches the lushness and the high fidelity of the stereo signal as the Dimension C. So in my opinion, the only real true stereo pedal in the Shootout is the DC-2w. This is really a gorgeous, beautiful stereo signal that you get. And that's definitely something to consider when you have a stereo rig going on. Okay, so I'll tell you my opinion now. And it's really surprising to me. I actually like all these pedals except for the chorus ensemble. I think that this pedal just sounds bland and boring, and it's overpriced for what it does. I mean, if you engage this thing, you have a chorus signal on your you have a chorus effect on your signal, but it's just kind of there, right? So without. Yeah, I feel this pedal has no character, no color to it whatsoever. So I think if you want a chorus signal or a chorus effect on some parts of your song, if you're not dependent on your chorus, there are cheaper and smaller options out there, and options with true bypass. Check out the small More chorus that is basically a copy of this one. You get the same thing for less money with true bypass. I was really surprised with the CH-1, the super chorus. It doesn't do stereo, so that's to consider, but I really like its character. I think it sounds dark and like a wood at night, like a forest at night, or maybe a space station lost in space somewhere. It definitely has a great character. I really like this character of this pedal. Yeah, I really dig this pedal. It's very surprising even for me. Okay, so let's talk about the CE-2w, which is, I mean, is it just in my head? But this pedal really sounds analog, yeah? Let's compare these two. I think they chose the color perfectly. I think it sounds watery, it sounds friendlier than this one. It sounds like Nirvana's Nevermind album, like Come As You Are, especially. Right? So I think there's both advantages and disadvantages with that. So first of all, of course, it's double the price of this one. Then, as you can hear, it boosts your signal a tiny little bit. There's definitely a high cut going on there, but I guess that's what you get for in exchange for the warmth and the vintage sound, and it just sounds like a real thing. It sounds analog. That's the best way to describe it. This chorus is colder, but it's also cleaner. It doesn't boost your signal that much. So there's advantages and disadvantages on both of them. The Dimension chorus is also an analog pedal, but it doesn't boost your signal, it lowers it a little bit. Right? About the switches on this pedal, I mean, you can have different opinions about that. I kind of miss having a depth thingy, and I kind of miss having a effect level and rate setting. You don't get this. This is basically what you see is what you get, right? You can push two buttons at the same time, but you can't really manipulate depth, rate, effect level, and so on. Having said that, I really like this pedal. I feel it just sounds like the 80s, and it sounds like The Cure and all those bands that like pay homage to the 80s, like the White Lies or the XX. It's darker than the friendly CE-2w. It sounds like an enchanted forest, a little bit like this one. Let's listen to these two. Yeah, but of course the super chorus never gets as strong as the Dimension chorus. And as I said, this is the only real true stereo chorus in the Shootout. Yeah, so what is my conclusion? I really like these three pedals here. It just depends on what you need and what you want. If a chorus is not a huge part of your sound and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you don't need analog goodness and true stereo, then the Super Chorus is really a great option. It doesn't do the friendly watery sound like the Chorus CE-2w, but for that I would suggest trying out the MXR analog Chorus. Don't really like the Chorus Ensemble. Really like this pedal here, although it cuts a little bit of your highs, but gives you warmth and kind of a vintage sound. And the same is true for the Dimension Chorus. It changes your sound a little bit, but it just sounds enchanted and lush, especially in stereo. So that's my opinion, and I will definitely try out these two more and see what I like at the end of the day. So that was my shootout, guys, and I hope you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye.